Let's take a look at the matchups.
I think the Sabalas and Gamble really going to be big because Gamble will have trouble with Sabalas and then his backup Richard Dumas.
And Abdelnaby, Abdelnaby, the youngster who was traded here from Milwaukee to the Boston Celtics, who's been starting, giving McHale that chance to come off the bench, will have to play Charles Barkley. He plays him tough. He has a size advantage and has some fouls to give.
Well, anytime that you're looking at this Phoenix team, you know they're a great three-point shooting team. They lead the league in attempts and makes, but you know Barkley will be double-teamed and Kevin Johnson will be double-teamed. They always find the free guy.
Barkley opens with a three-point attempt. The long rebound to Abdelnaby. Misses the lay-in. Rebound Marley.
Yo Story. Chris Ford wants goaltending right now, but Yo Story, he sent it up soft.
How about this? 2 3-point attempts. One of them goes down as the NBA's most prolific three-point shooting team gets out in front 3-0.
But you always are in trouble when you're running back in transition. You must play them for the threes.
Sherman Douglas pulling up and missing. Sabalos with the rebound, and Sherman Douglas has played his way into the starting point guard position by not shooting as much as previously.
That's right. A good point, Bob. He's become a better all-around player, and he's seeing the floor, the full 94 feet. See, they're not doubling early. This is interesting.
Abdelnaby having trouble holding Barkley out of the paint and gives up on those fouls.
I'd like to take this about Charles. We all know Charles gets double-teamed. In my opinion, one of the greatest passers ever to play in this game, accepting the double team from the foul line down. He has the ability to find people. He's averaging 5 assists a game. That's second on this team only to Kevin Johnson. Very, very unselfish player.
Charles Barkley, the last piece of the puzzle. Jerry Colangelo and the Phoenix Suns, they hope that he will win the MVP award and the most valuable player in the finals, which means they would be in the finals.
Well, you know, you look at Charles' game. The guy who loves him the most is right in your picture there. He says Charles understands the game, and he's a true winner. The thing that you like about Barkley, he shot 57% for his career. That's 4th in the history of this league.
Phoenix doing here at Boston what they did at the stadium in Chicago. That's getting out to an early lead.
Big test tonight for Boston. Can they get high percentage shots out of their offense?
Reggie Lewis got down on the box for the lay-in, then hesitated, and it results in a Phoenix fast break, and the Suns have a 7-0 lead.
They're out of the box so quick from end-line to end-line. When you think of the quick teams in this league, you think of Houston and Phoenix in the open floor.
Gamble with a fadeaway, it doesn't go down. Celtics are 0 for 4, open this game down 7-0 with 2 minutes gone in the first quarter.
If you're going to miss, you got to get on the boards. You got to get on the offensive board and hurt Phoenix. If you're not, then you better get back on defense.
There was discussion as to whether or not Robert Parrish, who's simply resting that sore ankle, would play tonight. But the doctors decided not, and without him, they're going to have trouble up front.
Well, this is a great matchup. Marley and Reggie Lewis. Now, right there, you saw Reggie Lewis accepted the double team. He found Gamble on the other side of the floor. With this group that's out there right now, they're the only 2 scorers for the Celtics, primetime scorers.
Gamble and Lewis were the keys to the Boston win the other night. Look at that lob from Marley to the former NBA slam dunk champion, Cedric Sabalos.
You say when you play Phoenix, you got to watch out for the threes. Watch out for the backdoor lobs. Watch out for the double teams. And then please get back on defense, or they're going to embarrass us 3-on-1, 3-on-2.
It is 9-2. Suns off early. Abdelnaby misses his turnaround jumper. However, the Phoenix Suns, 3 of them around the ball, lose it out of bounds. It's going to belong to Boston after a 20-second timeout called by their head coach, Chris Ford.
Well, it's a good call by Ford. Right now, he's got to talk to them and say, listen, if you can't make a shot, can we please get down into the power game so we can get fouled? Because anytime that you run an 0 for 5, 0 for 7, that means you're probably shooting jump shots. That's exactly what we're seeing. So consequently, you want them to go down inside so that they can get fouled, get on the foul line. Number 2, please get on the offensive boards, even though it is not a big part of our game, because we must get second shots. And then get back and match up. I don't know if they can do that.
They look as though they heard a lot of information. 3rd year as the head man with the Boston Celtics, and he has the Celtics battling for a home court playoff advantage spot in the Eastern Conference playoffs. Chris Ford, Gambon misses. He's now hit 1 out of 3. Barkley with a rebound. Boston is only 1 of 7 from the floor. Barkley drains it just inside the triple line. It is 11-2.
Well, we have 2 of the better shooting teams in this league. But obviously, to your eye, you can see that one is more tenacious defensively. And that are the guys in purple. They get after you.
Abdul-Nabi turns around for another 15-footer. He is 0 for 2. And Boston is now 1 for 8 from the floor to open this game.
No one has been in the green paint yet going to the basket.
Sherman Douglas with the block on Kevin Johnson. That's going to be a problem for the Celtics all night long. Johnny Dawkins caused a problem on Wednesday night with Philadelphia with his penetration moves.
Well, what must happen is the guy playing the screener, he must help Sherman Douglas or Kevin Johnson because of his great speed. You see, now that time he didn't try. You always tell players when you come off the screen and roll against good defense, come off 2 dribbles. Kevin came off 1 dribble and tried to make the pass. It wasn't open yet.
Sherman Douglas had 7 turnovers against Philadelphia to go 8 assists.
See, this is good. Get down inside, let Reggie work so you get better shots. But Klein and Abdel-Nabi must get on the offensive board. They do not have a second shot.
Ceballos just rammed his way into the low post for the lay-in. It is 13-2, an 11-point Phoenix lead, and now a full timeout is called by Chris Ford.
You're coaching, you say, listen, we're calling timeout. Well, the guys who want to play soft, will you please go home? We have to have some warriors in here right now because these guys are opening up all throttles.
TNT's Colossal Collection
This is where we separate the men from the boys.
of all night
Charge!
adventure flicks.
I've not yet begun the fight!
Hollywood Heroes begins Friday, April 9th on TNT.
My advice? Turn to TBS, that's where the action is.
We're going to show you now how the Phoenix quickness defensively is causing havoc right now with the Celtics. You're going to see that they're going to double team anytime Gamble and Lewis put it on the floor, forcing you to stay outside. We're seeing it, they're 1 for 9. At the other end of the floor, you always must be conscious of the back cut. By that we mean you deny the passing lane, what happens? They throw the lob as they cut to the rim. Cedric Ceballos is playing great basketball in the last 14 games. And remember, his backup is Dumas coming off of an ankle injury. They have dynamite kids at that small forward position.
8 seconds for the Celtics to shoot. Having real trouble with this Phoenix defense, and Reggie Lewis gets his first boot, and Marley was right in his face.
Good call. He was right. You could not play him any better than him. See, when 2 good teams play, now it comes down to can your offense execute against good half-court defense?
Sherman Douglas in an arm wrestling matchup with Kevin Johnson over there. So Barkley takes matters into his own hands.
Difference in the game, Phoenix is playing foul line down, and Boston is playing outside of 15 feet.
15-4. Gamble from the corner. Again, outside of 15 feet.
They just have to pull themselves together defensively, get the building in the game, because there's definitely a buzz here tonight. The people really sense this is a big turning point in their season right now.
Second personal foul on Abdel-Nabi. He often gets in foul trouble early, but they want him to use those, we keep repeating, because, of course, Kevin McHale will come in there at the power forward. Xavier McDaniel also gets in off the bench. Barkley in the paint.
Anytime you front Barkley, the passer, the defensive guy playing the passer must jam him, or they'll throw that lob pass all day long. Charles' strength holds the defender high.
Charles has 8. Reggie Lewis.
Look at that quickness. Great rotation by Kevin Johnson.
Gamble buries it. Lewis and Gamble were the keys to the fourth quarter come from behind win over Philadelphia. 6 points for Gamble. Barkley for 3. Ceballos runs it down, but not in time. Let's see if those 2 are all right. Ceballos at the bottom of that pile.
Ceballos has improved his game tremendously. Dumas came in as a rookie, beat him out of that position, put up terrific numbers. It's forced Ceballos to become a better shot selection guy, better defensively, and an all-around hustle guy.
Boston battling back in here.
Go strong.
Abdelnaby is fouled as he tries to jam it. Barkley went for the steal and missed it. Mark West gets the personal, his first, and Allah will go to the line.
This is an example. We're going to show it to you again of throwing up weak stuff. When you are a pivot guy right now playing against a good defensive team and taking on a shot blocker, 2 hands on the ball, go with the strong dunk, and then put his arm off of the front of that rim as he fouls you. Give yourself a chance to make a 3-point shot.
Abdelnaby was saying, Hubie, I thought that was strong. But you're right. It's got to be double strong against a guy like Mark West. Mark West, by the way, for Phoenix, playing with a sore back. He gets spasms. It'll tighten up on him often during the ballgame.
One of the all-time great shot blockers in the history of this league, and he was waived twice. He stayed in this league because of shot blocking and rebounding and the high percentage shot.
From Cedric Ceballos, Mark West performing for Hubie's attributes, 19-9. Phoenix leading with 5:37 to go in the first quarter from Boston Garden. Celtics defending a 9-game winning streak.
Oh, good. Wow, you see, they're making him pass the ball into the first shot.
Big shot from Reggie Lewis, the captain of the Boston Celtics, and now it's a 7-point game, and there was 3 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
The gambler is supposed to get 40.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they might if they keep taking most of the shots.
Right now, Gamble has 6, Lewis has 5. Strong by Abdelnaby, he has Gamble with him.
Go strong. Go strong.
Allah runs hard and lays it in. Barkley almost blocked it.
He could not do that again. We'll give him that same move 5 times. I guarantee he can't make that same shot.
Celtics within 5. Boston on an 8-2 run. The building coming alive. Barkley against Abdelnaby. Lewis deciding for the double team. Douglas comes to him. Rebound Klein.
They're not going to Charles until Charles dribbles the basketball.
Loose ball foul on Ceballos.
We're going to show you this. This is excellent anticipation by Allah. Now watch this now. As the pass goes in to Barkley, he shoots the gap. Mike Krzyzewski at Duke would be very, very, very happy for Allah right now. But watch this shot. Watch this shot. This is a tough shot because he's out there fairly far, and he swished it. He didn't even bank it in.
And now a slimmer, trimmer, leaner, meaner Oliver Miller, the rookie, in at center. Wears 25. He'll be playing Joe Klein. Celtics within 5. Lewis beats Murray off the dribble, and Lewis has 7.
Just love Reggie Lewis's game. And you just said Parrish described him perfectly. He is a silent killer.
Lewis has hit the last 3. Johnson pulls up, misses. Abdelnaby keeps it alive to Sherman Douglas.
Nice ball fake.
Gamble buries it, and the Celtics are within 1.
Lewis and Gamble on fire.
Boston on a 12-2 run. Johnson with a penetration.
One of the best ever for a person who's right-handed, going to his left, and he finishes. He finishes strong when he dribbles with that left hand.
Joe Klein from 15.
He can make that. Joe Klein can make that.
Oh, we got another beauty here. Phoenix, Chicago, exciting on Tuesday, and now the Celtics are coming alive. It's Boston ball with a chance to take the lead.
Kevin Johnson is blowing by Sherman Douglas, and Chris Ford is going to have to do something about this. He's breaking the defense down, but give the Celtics credit, they're holding them now to 1 shot. Right, Lewis. Nice fake. Nice fake.
Klein. He has a nice fake, and Barkley fouls Joe Klein.
That's a smart play. Strong foul. That's okay. When you're a Celtic, you expect that, because the history of the Celtics has been strong fouls, and please don't pick up the player.
A 14-4 Boston run. Celtics within 1 point.
at the top of the show. Kevin Johnson and Barkley demand a double team. Now, right now, keep an eye on this side. If you are going to help out, you must come and pick him up by that white line once he blows by Sherman Douglas. And he's gone by him so many times already, you know, Douglas might catch cold. But right now you can see it. There he is. He's inside of it, breaking it down. Now at the other end of the floor, watch Majerle come off of 2 screens. We call that stagger basketball. Now, right now, you have a great player who had nothing, and he breaks the double team. He is a great one.
Joe Klein's going to the line. Boston opened up. Speaking of cold, the ice is still down here at Boston Garden. It's probably about 35 degrees here. That's an official complaint about the temperature. And Boston opened up this game 1 for 9 in the last 4 minutes, 8 for 8.
But they're back in it now strong. Joe Klein is going to be a big factor in this ball game. He's got to be able to help the people out, do a great yeoman job on the defensive board, and then make the easy jump shots facing.
Boston has never led in this game, and Klein doesn't give him the lead as he goes 0 for 2 from the line. Douglas goes down. Johnson misses. Abdelnaby with a rebound, and Douglas is slow getting up.
Yep. If you go up front, you're open. If you go up front, you're open. Nice move. Sherman Douglas. See, I think Sherman hurt his left leg. Plus, he had the wind knocked out of him. Kevin Johnson went right into him. You say, well, that should have been an offensive foul. Well, the referee looks at this, and we're going to show it to you right now. Now watch Kevin. See, Kevin goes right into his chest, knocks him down. He hurts the left leg there a little bit, and also took the wind out of him. But you're not going to get that call against Kevin Johnson. No way. He's an all-NBA performer 4 times.
The Celtics have tied it. They have never led in this game. Douglas will give them an opportunity to take the lead. And here is a guy that people felt was an albatross for the Celtics.
Since the All-Star game, he went home. He got his life together away from the court. Chris Ford was telling me today. He has come back now. He's playing the best basketball since he joined this ball club. But right now, as I'm watching him, he's really limping. He's favoring that leg right now. Now, the other factor is, as Chris said, he's become a happier guy. And that's great because he's playing excellent basketball.
And it's certainly been probably the biggest difference. Barkley gets the lob, misses the fadeaway. Lewis with the rebound with Sherman Douglas. Celtics lead for the first time here, 22-21. 2 minutes to go in the quarter. Joe Klein looking for help.
Nice pass.
Abdelnaby misses the lay-in.
He's 0 for 3 in layups, okay?
Barkley misses the 3. Kevin nice pass to Barkley. He draws the foul.
What a great behind-the-back pass that time by Kevin Johnson. And then another smart foul by Klein saying, touche, Charles Barkley, you are going strong to the floor.
Klein picks up the personal foul. The Phoenix Suns and the Boston Celtics. Phoenix, best record in the NBA. Boston Celtics, 9-game win streak on the line. Phoenix jumped out to a 17-6 lead, and the Celtics have battled back to take a 1-point lead until Barkley ties it with that free throw. Minute 43 to go in the first quarter. Danny Ainge, former Boston Celtic, about to enter the game, and they're on their feet. Some of these fans in here to applaud as Frank Johnson and Danny Ainge enter the ball game. Ainge to a big round of applause out at center court.
I love Ainge. He played on 2 championship teams, 2 rings, plus he was a great 3-point shooter along with Larry Bird during the championship years. A feisty 6'5" guy and a tenacious defensive player.
His only visit here to the Garden this year. A lot of people on their feet applauding this guy. He went to Portland, played for a championship. He's been around some. 1-point Phoenix lead, 1:27 to go first quarter. Ainge breaks the double team, gets into the paint, has it blocked. Oliver Miller dishes to Majerle, and Thunder Dan lays it.
The difference between the 2 teams now also is the inability of the Celtics to score inside of the painted area, and the fact that the Celtics, at the other end, the Phoenix is doing an excellent job converting the layups.
Minute left in the first quarter. Reggie Lewis from Gamble, and the foul.
Is there anything that he cannot do? He's an excellent post-up player at 6'7". He's great facing the basket. He's terrific off the dribble going to the hole, and he gets fouled. And they say, when are we at our best, Chris Ford says? When Reggie Lewis gets to the foul line 10 times a night.
Dan Majerle picks up 2 personals here now with a minute to go in the first quarter. Majerle, the defensive stopper at guard. He had to deal with Michael Jordan on Tuesday night. And now has Reggie Lewis, and Reggie already with 9 points. 9 at 25. Over Lewis. 40 pounds lighter and better at center. Barkley just pulls up and shoots over on the line.
That's why I wanted to bring out that point earlier. Charge from Charles of his career, 57% shooter. That's incredible.
See that move by Reggie Lewis around Dan Majerle. It's tied at 27.
That's a stutter step crossover. We just lost Majerle right on the spot.
And Majerle is not exactly chopped liver.
We'd like to show you Charles scoring over Abdelnaby. See, right now, when Charles catches in here, you have a lot of problems because he can do so many things, and he always has the fadeaway J.
Ainge and Majerle, both excellent three-point shooters. 10 seconds to shoot. Ainge tries the penetration. Kicks to Frank Johnson. This is from the baseline. Rebound. Klein.
Nice. 2-on-1.
The foul before the basket. Wave it off. It's going to be on Charles Barkley, which will be his second.
Now, they're shooting the penalty, so they'll go to the line. Charles did not want to deliberately foul in that situation. He thought that he played it as well as he could defensively. We're going to give it to you as they're coming down. Now, keep an eye on Charles as he reaches in to disrupt the pass. Right there. See, that was the call. But you know what? Abdelnaby made that.
Yes, he did. They waved it off, however. Boston with a 1-point lead. D. Brown comes in here for the final 15.2 seconds of the first quarter.
I thought Wayne Embry paid one of the greatest compliments to Reggie Lewis. And the people who follow the NBA for so many years, Wayne Embry, the excellent general manager of the Cleveland team who played here in Boston, said Reggie Lewis is the reincarnation of the player Sam Jones. Wow, wow. Now that is a tremendous compliment because their games are somewhat the same.
Reggie Lewis, with that free throw, has 14 points. Barkley has 12. They are the 2 top scorers. Lewis also with 3 rebounds and 3 assists already with 5 seconds remaining in the quarter. D. Brown in.
Excellent defense on Devin.
And the foul by Abdelnaby prior to Barkley's 3-point attempt, and that's the third on Allah with only 7/10 of a second remaining here in the first quarter.
So you made a good point earlier, Bob. He's expendable because he only plays 16, 18 minutes a night because down the line, you know that McHale will be in there in that position, and then they could play Klein and McHale together, and plus you now have McDaniel in there who can give you that big forward position where he played in the early part of the season.
Plus he's held Charles to 13 points here in the quarter.
The big players on both sides are playing big tonight.
Both of them, Reggie Lewis with 14, and if Charles hits this, he too will have 14 points in the first quarter.
Full court press now.
At the end of one, it's even Steven, 29 apiece. Phoenix jumped out to a 17-6 lead, 13-2 at one point, and the Celtics have come back. At the end of the first quarter, Suns and Celtics tied at 29 apiece. Celtics started out ice cold. They went 1 for 9 the first 5 minutes, then finished at 44% for the quarter. The Phoenix Suns at 50% for the quarter. They started 9 of 11, finished 11 out of 22, and we're tied at 29. A heck of a ball game.
I like what I'm seeing. The best players are playing to the maximum. We're seeing a lot of enthusiasm. The Celtics have now figured out the tempo, and they're getting great play from Gamble and Lewis, and also good defensive rebounding right now.
Chris Ford's team on a 9-game win streak. Phoenix Suns on a 5-game winning streak, including that win over Chicago on Tuesday night. D. Brown, Xavier McDaniel, Reggie Lewis, Joe Klein, and Kevin Gamble on the floor for the Celtics.
See, Phoenix loves to switch on the screen and roll, so the Celtics knew that. They went right away and tried to post up Lewis.
Oliver Miller, the rookie from Arkansas, who's dropped 40 pounds and playing better and better, has a lot of talent.
Well, Paul Westfall's been high on him since the first day of camp. The big factor was, though, with all that weight, a stretch fracture in the foot, and then tendonitis in one knee.
Oliver Miller finds Barkley, 3 on the shot clock. Barkley shoots it from the Boston Harbor, didn't hit the iron, so that was a violation, and the turnover goes to the Celtics.
On Charles' behalf, he read the clock, realized the clock was going down, he had to force that one up. Right now, you have Lewis, McDaniel, and Gamble out there as your main scorers. See, I like this. Post them up, force Ainge to blend, take the double team, and then ball movement.
Reggie Lewis from D. Brown. And the second leading scorer for the Phoenix Suns is on the floor, the rookie, Richard Dumas.
See, Reggie Lewis will take the double teams and find the free people. You don't have to worry about that. He plays within whatever that defense gives their offense.
Reggie 6 out of 9 from the floor. Ainge has a mismatch now with Joe Klein.
Well, he's yelling down because he'd like to take him off the dribble here.
But Boston zoned up beautifully. Yes, they did. Nothing but a herd of white shirts down there. D. Brown the lob, and Xavier McDaniel. Oh, that was close to a poster play.
All I know is it's a turnover. That's all I know. The pass was too hard. Xavier McDaniel was trying to catch it with one hand. That's like trying to catch Nolan Ryan barehanded.
This is you and me. Forever the fan, forever the coach. Barkley to Dumas. Dumas coming off that sprained ankle, not really back in shape yet. Xavier McDaniel will rebound. Celtics lead by 2. Gamble, good penetration.
What a great play. He was bumped by Dumas, and he still tiptoed down through there and salvaged it. That's the old story. Can you shoot with your left hand? Can you score with that left hand?
Yes, 10 points for Oscar Gamble, his nickname here in Boston. Barkley backing in. Hands it off to Oliver Miller.
What a gorgeous pass. Please do not underestimate Charles Barkley's passing ability.
Lewis down to McDaniel. What a good game against Philadelphia the other night. Gamble open for the jumper from 18. He has 12.
Like the spacing, Bob. The Celtics are getting good spacing. Once that ball leaves the double team, they're finding the free guy.
Celtics look like they're well coached.
They've won the division championship the last 2 years. Chris Ford, 2 for 2. We'd like to show you what spacing means. Xavier McDaniels gets double teamed down inside. Keep an eye to the left side. There's a double team. Now, he fakes the pass, and they catch you 2-on-1 on the opposite side of the floor. That was beautiful.
Xavier McDaniel called for the foul. Joe Klein sits down, and Kevin McHale, whose offensive game has been missing, is in the game right now at the power forward. Actually, at center. Dumas, look at that move inside.
Over the back.
Phoenix foul, it'll be called on Miller, his first.
See, in the league, the Celtics rank 4th in defensive rebounding. They do a good job. They hold you to 1 shot. And you are being tested tonight by these great athletes from Phoenix. They really crash the glass.
And they keep pouring weapons at you. Marley and Frank and Kevin Johnson back in for Dumas and Frank Johnson.
Now, with this unit on the floor for Phoenix, they're playing Marley at small forward. But how about this? Marley is going to play Reggie Lewis, Danny Ainge on Gamble.
D. Brown at the point guard, down to Reggie Lewis, and there's the double team.
That was smart. You got to make the second pass, D.
He steps up, he's about 18 and hits the jumper.
Yeah, that's nice, okay? You can do that early, but over the course of the 48 minutes, that's going to hurt you. Make the second pass, make it an easy game.
Celtics were down 17-6. They now lead 37-31. Kevin Johnson from 13.
Nice stuff. And D. Brown played in real well. Kevin has not been able to get by D. Brown yet.
Looking for Daniel.
Great move. Surprise them with the spin move to the baseline, Don.
The veteran versus the youngster. Ceballos is very quick and has some pretty good defense. D. Brown with the foul.
We'd like to show you Kevin working hard versus D. Brown. See, D. Brown has quick feet and long arms. Long arms. That was a tough shot. But then again, Kevin's accustomed to scoring. Watch the quick move to the baseline. Oh, he caught the youngster. Caught him that time. Right on his back.
And the steal.
Nice pass.
A baseball pass. Lewis. Fouled by Kevin Johnson.
See, the great teams in this league, through the history of time, do not give up the easy layup. They take the hard foul, they make you go to the foul line and make your 2 foul shots. You didn't hear Reggie Lewis complain because Reggie's been here and has played on many a great team, and he understands the hard contact. Now here he is right now. Great pass out by McDaniel, and in a strong finish.
17 points for Reggie Lewis with 7:57 to go in the half. 4 assists and 3 rebounds. Phoenix against Chicago on Tuesday night. Huey, I know you saw the game, a lot of our viewers did. Phoenix, late in the ball game, forced Chicago's 2 bad free throw shooters to the line late. That's one of the reasons Phoenix won.
Yeah, you're right about that, Bob, and that was a great game. Best game I've seen for a year. Another steal. Yeah, they're causing them problems with their trapping and playing in the passing.
McDaniel from the corner. It is a 10-point lead. And another stolen by Lewis. The Garden has come alive.
They look great defensively. They are on fire. 7 of their last 8 shots.
3-pointer and a 17-4 run. Charles Barkley went to the bench with 9 minutes to go in the quarter. The Celtics are on an 11-2 run.
Right, also, just watch, after all foul shots, they are in a 2-2-1 zone press. Now watch Oliver Miller. He's coming down in here. It's putting pressure on the guards in the backcourt. It's definitely surprised Phoenix. Phoenix now has 4 turnovers in the last 2 minutes.
And Charles Barkley is back on the floor.
And they're making it happen. Once they get the turnover, they are knocking in the shots, and like we said, they've made 7 of their last 8.
So Phoenix has Kevin Johnson, Dan Majerle, Danny Ainge, Ceballos, and Barkley on the floor.
All right, they're matching up now. They're showing 2-2-1.
There it is, McDaniel. Looking for the shot. Yes. Whoa.
See, when they show you that 2-2-1, they're getting up playing your man-to-man. And that's when you like to see good zone principles used. You're really playing areas, but the guy is up on the ball.
Barkley pulls up. This is from the perimeter. D. Brown. Celtics are fast with this unit on there, save for Kevin McHale.
Big difference has been D. Brown coming in and stopping Kevin Johnson's penetration.
Celtics 10 to shoot. McDaniel hands off to Reggie Lewis. Reggie Lewis has 20 points.
Now they're going right back into this trapping business again. They're in a 2-2-1 right now. And Phoenix is oblivious of this. Once you get it back over half court, they're matching up, except for one thing. You're inside of 12 seconds.
Kevin Johnson with a beautiful penetration move.
You know what he said? I'm going to go buy D. Brown now.
Look at Xavier McDaniel. He's looking like a man possessed.
Yes, he is.
Couldn't get it to go, but got 1 offensive rebound. He has 5 total.
Give him his due. He's in there playing a strong game.
Harlan with a strong move.
I'd like to show you a replay. Now just watch this. This is a little guard around action. See, watch the back screen. Yeah, that used to be real big in the 40s and 50s. Pass it, cut right off. At the other end, this is what this young man does best. And like we told you, he's excellent going to his left, and then he loves to finish with the left hand.
We were playing basketball in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah, they were playing guard around. Pass, go behind, get the basketball. Or when I pass it to you, you give that little back screen like Xavier McDaniel did that time, and then that frees the man.
Suns trying to get back in this thing. Believe this, they led 13-2 and 17-6. If you could only have seen the look I got from Huey just then. And Hubie and I, my buddy, will be selecting the Budweiser player of the game. You're really my buddy since you got those great tickets, you know?
All right, here we go. Reggie Lewis is just killing the defense.
Reggie Lewis with the penetration hands it to McDaniel. Daniel will go on.
The reason why I bring up Reggie Lewis's name, they're setting screens for him on the baseline. He's coming off what we call the staggered screen. You have to work so hard to do that. Marley, who is chasing him, is getting bumped all over the place. Then what happens, once Reggie catches the basketball, he's putting it down on the floor because he is ahead of Marley and forcing the double team that's opening up other people. That's a talent.
Ceballos picked up the foul on Xavier McDaniel. That's his second. 49-37, Boston, 5:58 to go in the half.
Since the X-Man has gone to the bench, he's really putting up better numbers. His total game is much more efficient for this basketball team. They were trying to play him at big power in the first half of the season. It just didn't work out. They weren't getting the rebound that is necessary for that position. Here's the trap again.
Kevin Johnson, no look, Ceballos. Oh, he has lightning quick slashing away.
He's murder taking it strong.
And they don't really run plays for him this set.
No, they don't.
But you don't have to on that kind of breakaway. Kevin McHale from 16.
X-Man kept that alive.
Here comes Charles. But look how quickly Boston's defense got back.
We said that at the top. That's going to be the big key. Can they get back over 48 minutes?
Barkley with a very difficult fall away in the lane, and Thunder and has 11.
Tough shot. Well, you know they're not going to be quiet. You know, they're the top scoring team in the league and the second best shooting team in the league. So you know that they're going to give a run at it.
McHale has not scored a point in the last 2.5 games. He was 0 for 2 in the game against Philadelphia.
That's a good clear out now. Let Charles work, take the double team.
Kevin Johnson with a beautiful pass to Cedric Ceballos. He got his own wrist shot.
Remember, he missed that shot, bounced back, and came right back up on the next.
Up is the right word. He was above the rim to the tipping.
That's right. Good timeout right now by Chris Ford. Stop the tempo. Let's try to regroup, and let's go to a special play. The key, good teams will always come out of a timeout with a good play.
Suns on a 10-2 run in the last 2 minutes, 5 seconds.
Now, I'd like to show you Kevin Johnson beating the press with the dribble. Now, as he comes over, watch a little hesitation and a step through. Now, we're going to freeze it for you to show you that they now have 4 offensive players. The key being that as Kevin comes down the middle, you have 4 against 3. The main thing is don't settle for the jump shot. Take it strong to the basket and punish the trap.
Punish the trap. D. Brown. Good defense by Kevin Johnson. 5 seconds to shoot. Does Gamble know it? On 3. The fadeaway. Rebound, Marley. The ball fake, and Marley steps in for the 14-footer.
They just have so many guns. They just keep coming at you with shooting. All their guys can end the play.
A 12-2 Phoenix run. They are within 5 of the Celtics with under 4 minutes to go in the half. It's been a game of runs.
Nice one.
Xavier McDaniel.
Charles did not elevate at all to challenge that shot. And they should keep going to the X-Man because Barkley does not want to get into foul trouble.
Xavier with 8 points off the bench.
And a very nice job. Solid job.
Looking for Ceballos down there. Good hands away.
Good hands by Gamble. Knock that over.
McDaniel was involved in that too. That was Reggie Lewis who forced Marley to give it up. And Kevin Johnson hits it at the buzzer. It is a 4-point game, and Kevin has 9, including a triple at the buzzer. Soft left-hander by Gamble doesn't go. Barkley outlet Kevin Johnson. Nice pass.
One step over half court and a long bounce pass right on the money.
Cedric has 10 points. Boston by 2.
You got to get back into how you got here. You came to the dance with double-team basketball, finding the free people.
Xavier McDaniel's turnaround misses. Reggie Lewis is there. No, McHale with the over-the-back foul.
Good call. Kevin was behind that time. Back in the old days, his lift would have been a little bit higher. I always said when you have Parrish and McHale, they could be totally blocked out, but they get over here. What a great bounce miss right here on the money. Not only did he throw it over 40 feet, but the bounce was up at waist level. The catch and the shot. Beautiful.
Now Barkley isolated against Xavier McDaniel. McDaniel, a strong defender. Barkley's turnaround falls, and Charles has 16.
Charles is saying, you know, fellas, if you're not going to double team me, I have to punish you with the fall-away jump shot.
D. Brown left alone. Barkley with another board. It's punched away from behind.
Now 3-on-2.
Gamble.
Take it strong. Good call.
Down to the basket. 14 points for Gamble.
I'm surprised Mark was one of the premier shot blockers, always in the top 10 when he was getting major minutes for years and years. He tries to take the charge. You know, you're on the road. You're not going to get that ball too close to the basket. The old story, you got to be out almost by the dotted line here in the NBA. In high school and college, you had the charge. No problem. In this, you're better off going for the shot block and the hard foul.
Mark West has 2 now. We'll sit down when the Miller comes back in. You're not only on the road, you're in Boston Garden.
Oh?
I know that probably doesn't make a difference.
Here comes the trap again. 2-2-1 right now.
Celtics by 3. Ceballos bounce pass Oliver Miller. Soft touch doesn't go. There is Barkley.
The weakness of the zone presses is once you get down inside and you shoot inside that foul line, is that the rebounders are coming from areas where they're not getting a solid block out.
Minute 40 to go in the half. It has been a game of runs. Reggie Lewis fadeaway drops. Reggie Lewis has 22. Charles has 18. Gamble has 15.
Reggie Lewis has shown us the entire game.
Loose ball foul. We talk about a game of runs. Take a look at this. Suns opened up 17-6. Then the Celtics played. Then the Celtics went on another run, and now the Suns on the 21-9 ramble.
But you can't have a record like they have. 53-15. On the road, they're 23-11. That ties the all-time franchise record for road wins. 23.
Coming up at halftime, Danny Ainge coming into the ball game. Our Reebok halftime report. Busy night of NBA action. New York, Miami playing. New Jersey, Chicago. Both of those important, of course, to the playoff picture. Also, Ernie and Hubie will take a look at the NBA draft's latest entry. Sean Bradley, all 7 feet 6 inches of him from BYU. The Reebok halftime report coming up shortly.
Both teams shooting a penalty. Plenty of time.
Xavier McDaniel misses the 3. Barkley with the rebound. He has 9. A chance for Phoenix to regain the lead. Barkley will take the shot triple and bury it, and Charles has 21.
Once again, Kevin Johnson penetrates, sucks the defense to him, make turns, pitches it out, and they kill you with those threes. Barkley, Ainge, and Marley.
Kevin McHale looking for his first points in 2 games. Finally finds him on the turnaround from the baseline.
Gotta get back here. Pay attention. Kevin gave D. Brown all his stuff.
D. Brown played excellent defense and kept that position.
Yes, he did. Kevin's having a tough time beating D. Brown when he's trying to take him one-on-one. He's better off with the screen and roll. He has a chance then to shake him.
12 to shoot. Now 8. Charles against McDaniel. Now 5. The fadeaway. Barkley has 23.
At least 5 of them. At least 5 fadeaway jumpers with the clock going down. Clear out for Reggie Lewis.
Boston down 2.
Smart. Double team and make him give it up.
McDaniel is fouled with 4.7 to go in the half. You know, Phoenix scores 114 points a game, and they're right on target for that at 61 right here. That leads the league in offense.
Well, Paul Westphal was a great offensive player during his heyday, 12 years, 5 times an All-Star, 4 times All-NBA.
You coached him.
Well, I had him in New York. He was with us for 1 year, and his contract ran out our first year in '83, and he was just terrific for us. We had 8 new players. We kept 4 guys. Got in the second round, lost to Philly. They eventually won the championship. But Paul had a terrific season. He had to overcome a severe, deep thigh bruise.
Paul Westphal and Phoenix Suns call a timeout, leading at 61-60, 4.7 seconds to go in the half. I enjoyed what we chatted with Paul at their practice this morning. How he still talks to you like you're his coach.
Well, Paul Westphal has always been a cerebral player. When he was playing for you, you knew that the coaching was down the line. Not only was he a heady player, he played on the great Celtic teams, he played on great teams in Phoenix, but when you would sit and talk to him on the bus or wherever, he always had great input into who was doing what and how we could best improve the ball club. And you know, he put in his dues. 2 years at Grand Canyon, 1 year at Southwestern, 4 years as Cotton's assistant, and then he's done it. Now look right here with this ball club. It's his style of game. 114 a game. The first in point differential, so you know they're playing great defense, and then first in 3 points, and then in regards to their own shooting. See, that's what you love. They have great field goal shooting, and then there's first in the league in getting to the foul line, getting there 31 times a game.
Look at this. Kevin Johnson is going to get the shot up. No basket. The buzzer sounded. And appropriately, this game is tied 61-61.
See, the buzzer in the NBA doesn't mean anything. It's when the clock goes 0, 0, 0 right across the board. Even if the buzzer is late, it's the zeros and the red light take precedence over the buzzer.
Barkley with 23 points and 10 rebounds, and Reggie Lewis with 22 for Boston. And let's just listen to this last play.
Well, I'll tell you, I forget about listening. You know, the key there was I thought that it was tie goes to the runner. All right? We could bring that in from baseball. That was a tie. It should have counted.
61-61. Hubie and I are going to get a big, deep breath. Be back for the Suns and the Celtics.
Occasion for Miami. Another night in street clothes for the Spider. Early action. Ronnie Cycling? No, but look at Grant Long just fighting on the offensive glass and gets it to go. He had 14 points in the first half. Anthony Mason of the Knicks did him one better. Working on Matt Geiger. And the lefty goes in the lane. He had 15 in the half. What a pass by Big Pat Ewing to Charles Oakley. New York with a 15-point lead at that point. Right now it's a 19-point game. Miami has won 12 straight at home, but they are in deep trouble tonight. Chicago trying to keep pace with New York. Opening tip. And the coaches always say, don't let the other guy score off the opening tipping unless it's Michael Jordan who drains the jumper. It was 2-0. And then it was 6-0 on Bill Cartwright in the lane. The shutout continues. Pippen to MJ, 10-0. Michael hit 9 of his first 10 shots. Bulls bring it back the other way. BJ to Horace Grant, 14-2 at that point. It hasn't gotten much better for New Jersey. It is 35-21 as they go to the second period at Chicago Stadium. Cleveland and Charlotte. Brad Daugherty got worn out by Pat Ewing last night and working on the kid, Alonzo Mourning. 43 backing in. And there goes the soft jumper. Charlotte comes back. Kendall Gill right by Craig Elo with a left-handed jam. Mark Price, 4 for 22 from the field in his last 2 games. Finding the range tonight. A 3-pointer, 16 points in the first half. And at the foul line, here's a story, folks. He came into the game having hit 71 straight. He is 5 out of 5, and he's nearing the record. Calvin Murphy has it at 78 straight. Price just 2 back. Calvin, if you're watching, man, take a walk, take a deep breath. We'll let you know what's happening. 67-66, the Cavaliers with the lead over the Hornets. And when the Reebok halftime report rolls on, Shaq is back as Orlando and Indiana battle for the final playoff spot in the East. Those highlights are next.
Talented rookies challenging the league's best. Young guns who have paid their dues
and demand their turn in the spotlight. These are the players of tomorrow. These are the stars who will make the difference. These are the superstars who will rule this game. What?
I don't think so.
Well, maybe not rule. Nobody plays the NBA like TNT.
Nobody. The Suns and the Celtics couldn't be closer as the Reebok halftime report continues. With Shaquille O'Neal sitting out his one-game suspension last night, Orlando lost at home to Charlotte and fell a half game behind Indiana in the race for the final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Tonight, those two meeting at Market Square in Indianapolis. Shaquille O'Neal back in uniform, the president of the Knucklehead Club, going right to work on the alley-oop from Anthony Bowie, tie game at 27. Nick Anderson's a little under the weather, didn't start, came off the bench, drains the three-pointer. Indiana goes to Detlef Schrempf, among the league leaders in triple-doubles, sweet baseline jumper. Now watch the effort by Tom Tolbert. His jumper's not going to go, but what a save. He's praying this thing's going to somebody in a dark uniform, and it is. Little Laterral Green goes up and scoops it in, 41 apiece, but Indiana has opened it up a bit. Reggie Miller. Indiana up by 7, 74-67 in the third at Market Square. Sacramento and Detroit at the Palace. Spud Webb. That won't go. 1 for 14 were the Kings to start the game. Those Kings have never won at the Palace. Seems odd, does it not? But there's Joe Dumars with the hoop. And then it's Detroit on the break again. Alvin Robertson to Dumars, back to Alvin, who lays it in. Wonder if his head is still hurting from that clubbing by Shaq the other night. Here we go again, another Piston break. These guys are going to be winded by the time these highlights are over. Robertson with the dunk. It was 20-4 at that point. Right now, Detroit 65-49 at the break. Minnesota and San Antonio at Hemisphere tonight. The Spurs a game and a half behind the Rockets, who have the night off. David Robinson gives the Spurs a 4-point lead. Now watch Christian Laettner working against the Admiral. That won't go. That won't go. He gets him up in the air, and that one goes off the glass. Dale Ellis comes back, more known for the three-point accuracy, but now he's in the paint, going over Michael Williams. Second period at Hemisphere, and San Antonio has a 38-30 lead over the Timberwolves. Into the third period now at the Spectrum. Portland stumbled out of the gate. They were down by double digits early, 67-64 in the third. In the second period, Dallas and Golden State. Don't you wish you could be there? 34-30, the Warriors with the lead. Just underway, Milwaukee and Denver. And later tonight, the Red Hot Hawks take on the Clippers at the LA Sports Arena. And when we come back, some big lottery news. How big? Try 7'6" report. The lottery pot was sweetened today when 7'6" Sean Bradley of BYU announced that he will make the jump to the NBA. Bradley, yes, 7'6" tall. He's up there with the skyscrapers. Played 1 year at BYU, scored about 15 points a game, led the nation in block shots. He spent the last 2 years doing missionary work in Australia. Tell you what, folks, this guy is a player. The question now, is he the #1 pick in the draft? Let us pose that question to Hubie Brown. Is he #1, Hube?
Oh, I think so. Looking at the players who have already declared, meaning Hardaway, Mashburn, and the present senior class, the only way that you do not take him is if you have a center for the future. This young man is blessed. He's not only 7'6", and you say, is he awkward? No. He runs extremely well. He has a low post game. He can hit the hook shot either hand. He has a beautiful game with his back to the basket. He's been coached well. Now you say, well, what happens if Robinson from Purdue, Weber from Michigan, they jump into this lottery situation? Well, with me, I would still take Sean Bradley. And I think that the majority of the guys in the business see what a tremendous talent he is. And remember, he's sat out now 2 years. He has not played basketball, but he has matured, and his body growth, he's added quite a bit of weight. I like what Rick Majerle out there at the University of Utah said. He said next year, if he came back and played with Brigham Young, they would win and be the heavy favorites to win the NCAA championship. If that's true, you know what? He can play and make a big impact here in the NBA.
We will see what happens. Hubie, thanks a lot. We'll see if come draft day he is #1. We'll have that draft right here on TNT, as a matter of fact, on June 30th. Coming right up, though, it is the third period from Boston Garden, tied up at 61 apiece. The Suns and the Celtics, third period, just moments away.
Tied 61 apiece at halftime. Phoenix had at one time a lead as large as 11 points. Boston led by as many as 13 points. Both the stars, Barkley and Reggie Lewis, have shined very brightly in the first half. It's been a game of runs, and despite the fact that both have played 61 points, there have been some good defense play, too.
Yes, and you look at the turnovers. Phoenix with 8 turnovers. Boston has 14 points. Boston with only 1 turnover, and then the Boston bench. Think about this. Outscoring the Phoenix bench 17-2? That doesn't make sense, but it's happening.
At the beginning of the ballgame, you talked about Boston's bench playing very well and the guys they bring off the bench, and they have been stepping up and playing big here. Let's take a look at the stats.
Well, the Suns are shooting a higher percentage, but remember, add in those 8 turnovers. The Celtics are getting more shots because they only have 1. Suns killing them on the boards. Everybody said the Suns aren't big enough to rebound. They have a +4 rebounding throughout the year. And you can see the turnovers there and then the points off the turnovers. Very significant. We'd like to show you Kevin Johnson, you know, just doing it, breaking the defense down, getting down inside, accepting all of the double teaming, and then completing the play. He's off and having an excellent game. He has 9 right now, but doing a good job. Now the turnovers are coming off of this press. Where is the middle guy to help on the rotation of the basketball for Phoenix? Now this is what has been leading to the turnovers, and then give the Celtics credit. When X hit that shot, they had made 7 out of their last 8 at that time.
Barkley and Lewis. Barkley 23, Lewis 22. Barkley out-rebounding, which surprises nobody. 10-4, 8 of 14, and Reggie Lewis 8 of 12. How about this? In his last 3.5 games, Reggie Lewis is now shooting 63% from the field.
Wow. On fire. And he's been carrying them, but so has Gamble. Now, we don't want to, discredit Gamble. Gamble had 15 big ones himself in that half. But with this unit out on the floor right now, you're relying on Gamble and Lewis to carry you, but Abdelnaby and Douglas have got to help out here right now.
Remember, the Suns bench is deep. However, only 2 points from the bench in the first half. That's the reason Boston could come back and tie this game. 14 on the shot clock, Celtics ball.
Kevin Johnson really digging in, doing an excellent job. Interesting statement by Westphal. Kevin does not have to give us 20 points and 10 assists anymore. The points are down, and he has more energy for defense.
Lewis misses. Line rebound. Missed the foot right. Got to have Lewis by at 61 opening moments of the third quarter. Bob Beal to the ground with you. From the Boston Garden, and Kevin Johnson has 11.
In this league, when you miss the easy bunnies, it's just incredible how many times they score immediately at the other end.
Reggie Lewis pops off the Klein screen. Short arms it. Goes back with his own rebound. Short arms it again. Rebound West. Kevin Johnson has Majerle on the wing. Barkley saw the lane. Hands to West. Count the basket.
What a beautiful pass by Charles Barkley to West hustling. Now, West is shooting 62% for the year, but he's not in the top 10. Now, just watch this pass. He's not in the top 10 because he's not attempted enough shots, but he's always up there in the high 50s and 60s because he knows his limitations, stays with the dunks and the baby power moves.
When people look at the centers like Elijah Wan, Robinson, Patrick Ewing, people say Phoenix has no center. Tom Chambers injured right now. What do you think about that?
No, their centers understand their job. Rebound, play defense, block shots, and let the other guys take all the shots.
Abdelnaby, turnaround jumper, missed everything. Ala was 1 for 6 in the first half. He's now 1 for 7. Not having a good offensive night.
This is a night that you cannot play small.
Majerle to West.
Now just think about the difference here. Mark West, not a premier scorer, sends everything down with a thunder in this ballgame. At the other end of the floor, Abdelnaby getting the same opportunities and sending weak stuff up, and it's coming back.
Get this. Want to talk deja vu all over again? 7-0 run to open the game. 22nd Boston timeout. Second half, 7-0 Phoenix run. 22nd timeout.
Well, you know, an awful lot of coaches have a time clock in their head that they call a timeout after certain runs, and I'm serious about that. Here's a strong move, and see, that's the way to send it down. Send it down strong. But then also, if I'm coaching right now, I call them over and I say right now, how come you guys didn't foul West and put him on the foul line on that shot? Don't give him the dunk.
7-point Phoenix lead. It was tied at 61 at the half. 10:30 to go in the third quarter. Sherman Douglas, who sprained his left knee a bit in the first half, back out at the point guard. D. Brown finished the half at that position. This is Gambus, long range. The perimeter, this reminds me of the opening of the game. Boston shoot the perimeter, and Phoenix shooting from inside 15 feet. Barkley misses the turnaround. Foul in the backcourt on Cedric Ceballos.
Now that was not to stop the fast break. Ceballos is saying, come on, Dick. I really didn't get him.
That's 3.
Well, that's because you didn't get him with your hatchet. You got him with your hands, but you didn't really lay him down.
You didn't really get it. Kevin Johnson's foul of Doc Rivers. Now that's getting. So I brought that back up again. Reggie Lewis on the baseline. Turnaround over Ceballos. Boston opening up cold. Klein with the offensive rag again this time.
Hey, everyone in the building, they said, hey, we're going a beer for Joe Klein.
Oh, you might say that was an offensive foul. Ceballos just grabbed Douglas, threw it away, and picked up his 4th personal foul, which could be significant.
Yes, but they still have Dumas to take his place, or they can go with Danny Ainge and move Majerle up to the small forward spot.
Kevin Johnson looked over here at me after that call. He said, geez, I was wrestled to the floor twice in Chicago and never heard a whistle.
Here's the clear out.
Hey! Lewis pull-up from 12 feet.
See, if you play Reggie one-on-one tonight, it's lights out. He scores. If you give him the double team, he gives it up. Here comes Ainge now. Ainge will be coming in for Ceballos.
Boston back to within 3. 9:22 to go in the third. Barkley against Abdelnaby. 8 to shoot. It'll be Phoenix ball.
See, when you get double teamed, the other guys, you got to play your man. See, right now, this is easy for Reggie. Reggie's on a tear tonight. A one-on-one, hey, I'm going to take it on your face, throw it up and get that fadeaway jump shot that I have down pat.
Lewis has 24. Ames pulls up, misses the 3. Rebound coming up.
Nice to have Douglas in there, helping out on the boards.
Stolen by Barkley and fouled by Williams.
Excellent foul by Douglas.
Charles jams it anyway and may have bent the rim.
Well, it should pop back up right now. Let's see if it pops up. Yep, there you go.
That looks loose to me.
The credibility of the pop-out rim was at stake. All right, here's Barkley. Barkley coming through, and then for a little showtime, send this one home.
Dick Bavetta with a call away from the ball down on the baseline. Phoenix getting a bit testy right now. That foul's going to be on Abdelnaby, his 4th.
Now, it happened before, because before, he went down in there, and Barkley throws his arms away. Just watch it, right to right. See, Barkley throws his hands away, and then Abdelnaby goes back in and gets him with a forearm.
They go right back to Charles against Allah.
We'll get him out of the game.
Barkley gets the roll. Charles has 25. Looking for Abdelnaby, posting against Barkley, just waiting for it. Douglas in Boston says, let's try Gamble.
You got to take it strong.
Gamble gets it smacked out of there by Mark West. Charles wants the 3.
Kevin Johnson didn't like the fact that he did not get it back, and that was true because he had his man beaten. He had to give and go. Barkley waved at him and said, you know what? I feel a 3.
The two of them discussed it, smiled, high-fived. That's what happens when you're winning.
When you win.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Chevy Trucks.
Power, and he's got the fadeaway right there. It's been working all night. You play him one-on-one, it's going to punish you. Now just watch it give and go. See, Kevin said I was open. Charles says, yes, but
I'm feeling the 3. And let's take a look at some of the scores on the Chevrolet scoreboard. It's Portland ahead, New York clobbering Charlotte. Big game in the Atlantic Division, in the Eastern Conference for that matter. 22nd timeout was called successfully by Sherman Douglas.
now Now that was a good. They've got to take a full, because didn't they call it 20 before? So
Yes,
it
they
has
did.
to be a full timeout right now.
7-0.
Now that was good hustle by Sherman that time, and you know, the presence of mind is that I do not want a jump ball situation, because you know I don't want to lose the possibility of the possession with a missed jump.
Suns leading the Celtics 73-65. We were in a frenzy of basketball, so let's regroup on the Chevy scoreboard. Portland leading Philly in the fourth by 6. It is New York over Miami, 81-67 in the fourth, big game in the Eastern Conference. And Charlotte leading Cleveland 89-88. That one's being played at Charlotte. And Detroit killing Sacramento in the third quarter. This is a big game for the 8th spot in the Eastern Conference, and Indiana has the advantage, and the Bulls beating New Jersey, important to Boston.
Right now, big concern. What is wrong with Cleveland? Struggling and not scoring a lot of points.
I was going to ask you, they're not scoring. I wonder why. Douglas tries the penetration. He doesn't get anything. Kicks to McDaniel. From 19 feet, Xavier McDaniel playing as well as I've seen him recently in his career.
Well, he had an excellent first half, coming in with 10 points, but more important, giving him a lot of muscle and keeping the ball alive on the offensive board. Plus, he's matched up with Charles, and this is good. Good banging.
Got a foul on Sherman Douglas prior to the Joe Klein.
Oh, and a technical.
Blocked shot, and now the technical, and 3 fouls on Sherman Douglas. So many things are happening in this game. Things happen before you finish describing what happened.
Well, keep an eye on it to the left of your screen. You're going to see Kevin go backdoor, and there is the grab right there on the left hip. Good rotation by Joe Klein. But you can see he grabbed him with his left hand.
Hayes with the technical free throw. 74-67 Phoenix, 7:29 to go in the third quarter. It will be Phoenix ball. Boston, by the way, already with 4 team fouls in the score. Phoenix with only 1. Barkley against McDaniel.
They don't double Charles until he gets into the lane area.
That's the double. You saw Klein tried to hit West.
They actually called a 3-second call. And it was on Mark West who moved into the lane.
Phoenix with 10 turnovers, Boston with 2.
It's taking the Celtics a little while this quarter to get into their offense.
Gamble with 7 on the shot clock.
He got bumped. He got bumped strong that time by Danny Ainge.
Kevin Johnson with a penetration drops to Barkley. Looking for Ainge. Back to Charles.
Nice fake.
And Barkley. Blocked by Lewis.
Gotta push him. You need a basket.
Lewis over Ainge. The captain has 26 points.
I like what he said. What are you going to do as captain? He said, well, I'm not much of a talker. All I try to do is lead by example. I come early, I work hard every day, and I play 100%. Not bad.
Illegal defense.
Yep. See, what's happening is they know that they have to double team Charles, but the rule tonight must be we're going to double team him once he gets inside of the green area. All right? And that means come strong. But right now, you've got to anticipate, because right now Charles is going in slow motion. But if he would make quicker moves, it would help the Celtics double team.
Now they have Klein on him. Here comes Gamble. Somebody got a piece of that. Off the Celtics, it will be long to Phoenix, 74-69. Suns by 5. It was tied at 61 at the end of the first half. 6:01 to go in the third quarter.
Charles is drawing a crowd when he shoots.
Kevin Johnson with the beautiful penetration move and the pull-up 10-footer. Kevin has 13 points.
Once again, going to his left, a little head fake. They're so tough. They have so many weapons. That's the thing, that the beauty of this ball club.
Lewis finds Klein at the baseline. Rebound Phoenix. Here comes J.J. again. Behind the ball. Hayes for 3.
A perfect 20-foot pass behind the back.
Xavier McDaniel working against Marley. Gets his own offensive board. He fits everybody out, draws the foul.
We'd like to show you Charles doing his thing. Now just watch how far he throws that ball. That's a good 20 feet, and then to one of the premier three-point shooters in this league, you know, Danny Ainge. It's really kind of hysterical when you say a guy is shooting 43% in threes, and he only ranks 7th in the league. I mean, think about that.
The triples have arrived. That was, by the way, the third personal foul on Mark West. He may go to the bench, and we'll see the rookie Oliver Miller here shortly for Phoenix. E. Brown also checking in for Boston. West sits, Miller enters, and Sherman Douglas also goes to the bench.
I said at the top of the show, the toughest thing when you play Phoenix is you must keep up your transition defense for 48 minutes, not a half, not 3/4. They put the pressure on you because not only do you have to continue to run back, you play them off the dribble because they're all slashers, but then you must still have the quickness to get out and stop the threes.
9-point Phoenix lead, 5 minutes to go in the quarter. Isolating Kevin Johnson against D. Brown. Barkley up green and wrong line. They faked the screen. Johnson got the penetration, had nowhere to go with.
Joe Klein got popped and he's holding on to his stanchion at the other end of the floor. I think he either got, he got hit in the face, right in the mouth.
Well, Oliver Miller fouled D. Brown on the other end, and D. Brown will go to the free throw line. Let's see if there's any blood from Klein. I don't think so. He'd have to leave if there is.
Joe does an excellent job coming over to help here right now. And look at that. Takes the charge, and as Kevin throws it, catches him right in the mouth.
D. Brown looks like he's come back completely from that knee injury. His quickness and lateral motion is definitely there.
And, you know, he's playing with so much more confidence now that he's on the bench. They play him as a point guard or as a 2 guard, and the pressure's off him. Here comes the press. 2-2-1. Let's see if it can cause some havoc.
7-point Phoenix lead. Miller, long pass from Marley. 10 seconds to shoot. Barkley on the drive. Good block, blocked by McDaniel.
The X is really hustling. If they get a score here, the building will really light up.
Daniel looking for the shot. Just can't get it. Miller with the rebound. Kevin Johnson takes D. Brown, gets it into his heels, misses the bank. Klein can't hold on to it. Barkley from Kevin Johnson.
Beautiful pass. Joe Klein upset because he realizes he should have had that one. Once again, the unselfishness of the Phoenix Ball Club making the extra pass. Don't force a shot. Give it to someone else who has a higher percentage shot for our ball club.
Charles with 30 points now. Klein has missed 2 from the corner. He has a good perimeter shot. They don't mind him taking that one. But once again, the Celtics not getting the shots inside or hitting them. Coming up Sunday, Hubie is going to be in San Antonio with Ron Thulin, the Knicks and the Spurs. Then on Wednesday, Orlando goes to Charlotte. Gary Bender and Hubie will have that telecast for you also.
Now that's a big game, Knicks and Spurs. The Spurs in a fight, 1 game on the loss side behind Houston, and then the Knicks, 1 game in the entire conference on the loss side ahead of Chicago. Big ball game in San Antonio.
Kevin McHale in off the bench in the first half, 9 minutes. He had 1 basket, no rebounds for Boston. Klein sits down. Remember, Robert Parrish not playing tonight because of the sprained ankle. He could play if this was the playoffs, he says, but they're trying to rest the Chief right now. He hopes to be back to play the Bulls on Sunday.
Well, they're trying to win this game against a high-powered team with no low post game. And it's hard to do over the 48 minutes because what's happening? The outside perimeter game is ice cold right now. No offensive rebounding, no penetration, not enough foul shots.
Phoenix can build their biggest lead of the game on this possession.
guy a tough dude or what?
Got the penetration, kicked it for the three. 10 to shoot. Barkley's going to take it and hit it. Has Charles missed the three tonight? He missed one when the shot clock was winding down.
Now they're 5 for 9 in threes right now. Now this is a ball club that takes 13.5, 13 and a half threes a ball game.
Barkley 3 of 4 from three-point land. McDaniel misses. The Celtics are ice cold. E. Brown misses the steal attempt. Kevin Johnson just keeps taking it inside to Miller.
Look out,
Barkley. Not this time. Give it up. 4 on 2. McDaniel fouled hard by Kevin Johnson, which gives me an opportunity to talk about the toughness that's being exhibited by Kevin Johnson. People who know him know he's always been mentally tough, but his image is coming tougher, not just from the Knicks incident either.
But this guy's a great player, Bob. You know, when we said that he's 20 to 10, 20 and 10, 20 points and 10 assists, only 6 guys in the history of this game. Now, Oscar did it 5 times. Isaiah, now how about that? 4 times. Kevin Johnson is right there with Magic Johnson. And he still has how many more years left in his career? And a lot of people also forget the guy was a high minor league baseball player while he was attending University of California. He was a shortstop in the Oakland A's farm system. And then he says, then I started to see too many curves, and I concentrated on basketball.
I saw too many curves in college, too. You mean, you mean curved pitches. Is that what you mean? Is that what he meant?
Well, I'm laying off that.
86-7, back to the ball game. 86-73 Phoenix, 2:26 to go in the third quarter. The Celtics had 61 points at the break. They scored only 12 points in this quarter. 13 now. Here's the pressure that helped them get the turnovers.
There's the guy in the middle of the floor who was not there in the first half.
Down to Ceballos, back in the game with a reverse lay-in, and Cedric Ceballos, who had to go to the bench with 4 fouls, is back on the floor.
He's so active. You cannot fall asleep on him. I thought in Chicago the other night when he had 26, they couldn't find him.
Long pass to Ceballos, McHale got back. He got a piece of that. McDaniel comes away with it. Good move by Kevin McHale. Phoenix tried to steal. Austin down 12.
Nice pass.
Kevin McHale jump up, he has 4 points. You're seeing shadows of the great Kevin McHale.
No, he's only playing 23 minutes a game. His shooting percentage is down from 56 to 46. He just doesn't have the lift like the old days.
10-point Phoenix lead. Barkley gets the double team. 7 to shoot. Rick Fox in the air and buries it anyway. Wanted to call. Nevada said, play on Charles. You've already got 35 points. Rick Fox, who did not play in the Philly game on Wednesday. McHale misses the 3. Miller with a rebound. Phoenix by 12. Frank Johnson at the point with Ainge at the other guard position. Miller, Barkley, and Ceballos up front for the Suns. Here's the double. Open man, Frank Johnson.
What a pickup this was. 8 years in the league, you know, with basically with Washington, a playoff player. 34 years, they've been playing over in Europe for the last 3 years, but he's a leader, and they love his leadership.
Rick Fox in the corner. Everything coming up short. McHale with the loose ball on the rebound, and he lays it in. Kevin has 6. It is a 12-point Phoenix lead.
See, after every score now, they're going 2-2-1. But right now, they cannot get them to turn it over.
Charles says, punched away by Sherman Douglas.
Plenty of time, 10 seconds. Give it up, Charles.
Sherman Douglas like a gnat on an eagle. But Charles was going to shoot it. McDaniel, offensive foul. Danny Ainge took the charge.
Yeah, Charles is all over Dick Bavetta, but he stopped. At the other end of the floor, an excellent defensive play by Danny Ainge. See, the fun thing about Phoenix is people talk and they say, well, they're not big enough to get it done. But then you underline it and you say they out-rebound you by close to 4 a game. They are extremely consistent with their rebounding.
Charles Barkley now back into action after a chat with a little girl on the sideline. Frank Johnson said, Charles, we only have 6 seconds. Ainge with the drive. Ball flipped into the air, controlled by Fox. The buzzer sounds. It was tied 61 all at the half. And Phoenix outscores Boston 31-19 in the third quarter to take the 12-point lead.
In Atlanta, the Suns by a dozen as they head to the fourth period at Boston Garden. Gotta tell you the Mark Price story tonight. At Charlotte, Price sitting on 76 straight free throws. There's number 77 in a row. He is one shy of tying the record held by Calvin Murphy. And here he goes for the record. No, doesn't get it. One shy, but he still gets the ball back and drains the three. Go figure. That was a crucial hoop, too. He's second on the all-time list. Calvin Murphy still has the record, and Cleveland does have a lead in this game, 109-105, a couple of minutes to play. Now back to Boston.
Ernie, that was something. 12-point Suns lead here. Price misses the record-tying free throw, then drains the three. Go figure. Oliver Miller to Ceballos. Gets down inside. McHale on the block. Jump ball.
That was nice to see. When Kevin McHale was healthy, before the operation on the ankle, he has a screw in the ankle, and he also has a piece of his hip bone. You know, he does not have the elevation anymore. Now, right there, you're going to see that third quarter, 31-19. Big point, Campbell, no points. Reggie Lewis, only 4 in the third quarter.
Then he clocks alone, and he drains the jumper. He needed that because his confidence, speaking of draining, has been going away. He's not been getting much playing time.
Oh, it's hard because the team was on a streak, and they're basically playing 8 guys.
10-point Phoenix lead, 11:48 to go, fourth quarter. From the Boston Garden, McDaniel, Hubie ground with Danny Ainge off the curl. Actually hit the curl all the way in. He came off the screen to hit the 17-footer.
See, Phoenix has a lot to do with their madness. You think they're just running around on it. That was a beautiful down screen away from a post-up move.
Eight to shoot. Fox fakes it off. Takes it hard to the hoop.
Oh, he was hit.
He was hit. Ainge comes away with the ball. You can hear the whoop come over here and go whistle. Kevin Johnson loses Sherman Douglas for just a split second. Embarrassing. Kevin has 17. Xavier McDaniel gets the basketball, is fouled by Miller. And let's take a note the fact that Charles Barkley is currently on the bench. It was at this point in the first half that Boston made their run to get back in here.
Yeah, and in that first half, the run was 13-2 with Barkley on the bench. Now this is an excellent move by the X-Men. They need a shot in the arm, but also they need to have some defense. Now in the first half, they got back in it big because they turned Phoenix over. Well, let's say you can't turn them over. But what you need is better pressure on the shooter, hold him to one shot, and get out and get some easy scores. Here's the trap.
Xavier McDaniel has 20 points. Big by the leaping D. Brown. Kevin Johnson, though, very alertly runs back in, and it takes it down inside to Cedric Ceballos.
A highlight pass. Going to his left in traffic, a back shovel pass right through the trap.
How about that? He gets stuck, goes and runs down the loose ball, takes it right back in there, and then dishes.
What a pass.
Phoenix by 13. Coming alive off the bench here. It is an 11-point Phoenix lead.
Talk about Fox as he's attacking the rim line.
Ainge misses the three.
Should have been goaltending because McHale hit it.
Xavier McDaniel off the bench with 22 points. It's a 9-point Phoenix run. Remember the run they had when Barkley was on the bench in the first half. Look out below. Fox lost his man, and Cedric Ceballos gets the jam.
Now you see they're in a 2-2-1 right there. Now Chris Ford is all upset. Barkley's having fun, except for one thing. He was behind the zone guy. Now you say, well, that second line zone man should have had him. Well, that's kind of tough to do sometimes when you are supposed to come up and trap off the dribble. Once again, Cedric Ceballos.
Down inside to McDaniel. It runs out. Ceballos with a rebound. He has 5 rebounds.
You cannot fall asleep on that guy. I'm telling you, he's just running all around. He gets all the garbage and puts it back.
Oliver Miller. Jump hook.
You got to play that guy. He has a nice game. You know, they're not double teaming him, no one's honoring him, but he can hit that shot.
Sherman Douglas, one of his rare jump shots. McDaniel took the rebound away from Mark West, but then Ceballos comes away with it. 102-89, Phoenix, 8:45 to go in this game. Reggie Lewis on the bench for Boston, too. Lewis and Gamble have been quiet in the second half.
Yeah, Oliver's saying, give it back to me. Give it back to me, Danny. Nice.
They're going to call him for traveling, going up and getting his own launch shot. I thought McDaniel touched it, but nevertheless, so did a turnover.
And you know what's interesting about that? That they keep going back to him. See, that's nice. He's a young player. He's missed 40 games this year. He's had a lot of problems with the stress fracture and also the tendonitis. I'm sorry, he's missed 26 games. But the big thing is, let's give him some confidence.
Reggie Lewis back in the ballgame, looking for McHale down low. He's find it. West doing a great job. Fox on the dribble drive.
Taking it strong. See, stop shooting your jump shot. Take it to the hole. You get a higher percentage shot.
Phoenix by 11. 8 minutes to go.
See, the building knows what has to be done. Defense. Defense.
It was that zone press. And speaking of defense, the steal. D. Brown to Reggie Lewis, the go-to guy. It's a 9-point Phoenix lead. Barkley remains on the bench.
That was a beautiful head fake by Reggie Lewis to get that shot off.
There's the nice pick. Kevin Johnson almost jammed it. He's a very short 6 feet. Ceballos misses. Offensive rebound. Ceballos. Timeout, Boston.
Do we have to go out there and tell his man to stay with him? He now has 6 rebounds. He has a ton of points. He's not even involved in the offense. He's everywhere. And he's only second in the league in shooting percentage.
Late tonight.
Tonight's Dutch boy in the paint, and who says the Suns can't rebound?
Yeah, not only that, but how about in the paint? See, the Celtics are trying to beat you without a low post game. We'd like to show you the hustle here. Now, this is an explosion. A missed dunk. Oliver Miller runs it down. Keep an eye on the baseline now, because this is where this young man stars. Cedric Ceballos. Watch. He hits. He's right back up again. Now, Dumas turns his ankle. Misses 15 games. This young guy starts 15 games, averages 19 points, and 8.5 rebounds a game. That's getting it done.
And he's only 6'6", 210 pounds. We're talking about an inside player. Reggie Lewis. Johnson as Majerle. A team that plays with the confidence of a team that thinks they're playing for a championship.
Well, that's because your point guard is such a dynamite player. I mean, not only is he a great passer like right there, you can't blink, and you just cannot hesitate defensively because he puts the ball right on the money. And then, if you don't honor him, he's right by his man.
9 assists tonight for Kevin Johnson. 106-93. Biggest lead of this game for Phoenix was 14 at 96-82. It's 13 now. D. Brown. This is the 3. Kept alive by Rick Fox. Loose ball foul is going to be called on the Phoenix Suns. And it'll be on Marley, his 3rd. Bob Neal and Hubie Brown with you from the Boston Garden. Boston Celtics on a 9-game win streak. But 7 of the 9 were against opponents with sub-500 records. Tonight, Phoenix. Sunday, Chicago. Tuesday, New York. And they're trying to get Robert Parrish back in. Right now, that 9-game win streak is on the line for the Boston Celtics. Illegal defense to call.
We're going to show you their schedule for the Celtics. See, this is the true test. They just won 9 in a row, playing Phoenix tonight. Now, just look, Chicago, New York, Detroit, New York, Indiana, New Jersey. That's murder. But see, the coaching staff was realistic. They knew tonight that they had to prove that their half-court offense could get it done. Well, yeah, they can get it done from 10 feet out, but they have nothing consistent down inside.
Trying to do that with McDaniel right now. You see what he's got to contend with. Oliver Miller. Ceballos trying to block the outlet to Cedric, who wisely gives it up to Kevin Johnson. 6 minutes to go. 13-point Phoenix lead. Looked away.
That was just, I know I sound like I'm president of the Kevin Johnson fan club, but I really enjoy watching him play. What a move.
Abdulrabi back in the ball game along with Gamble. Gets it off to D. Brown from 18 feet. It's a 13-point Phoenix lead, 5:29 to go.
They just need a good defense.
Look at that. And the foul. D. Brown turned around and ran. He actually got off his backpedaling, turned and sprinted with Kevin Johnson. Fouls it. Johnson hits it anyway, and we'll go to one.
Now, just keep an eye on this. Now, remember, we've been emphasizing he's been going left. Now, that was a so help me God shot. Okay, that was really a tough shot, and it just happened to fall for him.
Kevin Johnson flirting with a triple-double tonight. 21 points and looking for 22 right here. 9 assists and 8 rebounds.
Well, we said that during his career, you know, he's been 3 times an all-star, but it also means that he's been 3 times an all-NBA player. Second team twice, third team once. Nice to see him healthy.
3-point attempt is missed by McDaniel. He steps back out there again. Gamble decides against it, takes it into the paint instead. Kicks it to Abdulrabi, who hits the 15-footer. Down to West against Abdulrabi. West was not much of a post-up game. Takes it back, 5 seconds to shoot. Kevin Johnson with 3. Loose ball foul on Phoenix. It's on Ceballos.
Yeah, Ceballos was up over the top there.
That's 5. And remember, 4:27 to go in this game. And Hubie, you're going to be down in San Antonio Sunday with Ron Thulin for a very big game for both the Knicks and the Spurs and their positioning in the East and the West playoffs. Miller with the foul.
Now, Reggie Lewis, Kevin Gamble, kept Boston in this game. Once we hit that third quarter, all right, Charles coming in right now, just having a monster game, 35 and 11. But going back to that other base, they came out, Phoenix, and stopped Reggie Lewis. 2 for 6, 4 points in that third quarter. Kevin Gamble, 0 for 4, 0. Once they got command of the game, got it up around double figures, they've been just able to maintain it because Boston cannot shut them down.
That was a 3 from D. Brown because Reggie Lewis had to give it up off the double team. Phoenix by 11. Plenty of time left. Great steal.
Great steal.
It's a 9-point Phoenix lead, and now the crowd back into it at the Garden. Time out, Phoenix. Celtics down 9. Defense has been the story. When the Phoenix Suns have a big lead, Boston has come back with the steal.
In Atlanta, the Celtics have closed the gap to 9. You know, they're trying to chase down the Cleveland Cavaliers for the number 3 spot overall, and the Cavs gave one away tonight. They were up by 1, and there you saw Kendall Gill with the steal and the hoop. It's 114 to 113. They've got the lead. Cleveland still got a chance, but no timeouts left. And watch him hustle it down. Terrell Brandon with a chance to win the game for Cleveland. But don't forget about number 33, Alonzo Mourning in there. Number 2 in the league in blocks, and there's a big one for him there. Charlotte 114, Cleveland 113. Back to Boston.
Big win for the Charlotte Hornets, and the Boston Celtics with their 9-game win streak here are only a game and a half behind Cleveland in the East.
1 game on the loss side.
Johnson no look, but it's stolen by Abdulrabi. D. Brown has Lewis. The pull-up.
Yes. Now that's their second turnover in the trap this half. Now they need it right now. Just keep it on and go with the strong double teams. Try not to give up a layup once you come out and match up.
Phoenix had led by 14 early in the fourth quarter, 96-82. It is now a 7-point lead. Barkley misses everything. Boston ball.
They got a break there. They got a break there. Always grab the basketball before it goes out of bounds. That could have been called off of Reggie Lewis.
Absolutely.
Now this is big. The next foul by Phoenix, Boston is shooting the penalty.
Reggie Lewis. Over Ceballos. Not this time. Danny Ainge coming up with a big rebound.
Phoenix guards have done a nice job in this ball game in helping out on the defensive boards.
2:55 to go. Time in the lower right of your screen. 111-104 Phoenix.
Two-man basketball. Everyone else spotted up. For the threes.
Marley. Not this time. McDaniel kept it alive. Here's D. Brown.
Double screen here.
Inside the Abernathy jump hook.
Yes, they needed that, Ala. Go right back into the trap. The trap is on.
5-point Phoenix lead. Boston on a 9-0 run. Near steal.
But the main thing is the clock is going down. You're approaching 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Barkley with a play call.
High screen and roll.
5 seconds on the shot clock. 3.
Don't let him put it away.
The pull-up. Still D. Brown.
Great defense.
4 on 3. Campbell. McDaniel.
Yes.
It's a 3-point game. An 11-0 Boston run. Time out Phoenix. It's a 20-second timeout. Oh, my. I thought that game was exciting Tuesday night in Chicago. Follow the Suns in here, and Boston making this one a rafter raiser. They're down by 3, have trailed by 14 here in the fourth.
Well, there's no doubt about it. The press has definitely taken its toll here in the last 4 minutes. What is happening is if they're not getting the turnover, when they break down and play man-to-man, they're forcing the perimeter shot. Now keep an eye on this. They do an excellent job, and then D. Brown is the freelance guy. Now, naturally, they're making every shot at the other end.
D. Brown played the point at crunch time against Philadelphia Wednesday. He's staying in there tonight with 1:54 to go. Phoenix by 3.
Now they just match up man-to-man. Right now, Phoenix sent everyone low. They're in a 1-4 set. Two-man game on the left side with Barkley.
Boston with a foul to give. 4 seconds. Double team. 2 seconds.
Oh, that's a crime. That's
That'll be a shooting foul.
A shooting foul. The shot clock was at 0. Now that's a crime. But once again, it's the athletic ability of a great point guard to make it happen. D. Brown played him as well as you can play. Unfortunately for him, see, that could have been called either way. I honestly thought, and I see D. Brown's point. He's right on Dick Pavetta right now because he's saying, I think he's saying that he jumped into my chest. Now keep an eye on this. Now watch Kevin coming down in here now. Now watch, he feels that he jumped into him.
And a smart move by Kevin Johnson, knowing the clock was winding down. He missed the free throw. It's a 3-point Phoenix lead, 1:35 to go.
Now Boston is sitting on 2 timeouts, and a foul either way is the penalty. Phoenix with 3 fulls, Boston with 2.
4-point lead. D. Brown wants to take it to the hoop. McDaniel against Barkley.
Nice
a foul. He'll go to the line.
Charles rode him from all the way. Now Paul Westfall's all upset over there, and he's on Dick Pavetta except for one thing. Barkley rode him with his left hand. Hand checking, I think, went out in 83. Okay, you're not allowed to hand check anymore. And you're going to see right now. Watch Barkley ride him. See, he's got his left hand right on his hip. Give X-Man a lot of credit. He really took it strong to the basket.
And Ceballos has fouled out with 20 points. That was his 6th. McDaniel is a 79% free throw shooter.
Now, this is the ball club that Westfall thinks that playoff time will be dynamite for him. We told you this at the top of the show. Miller as your center, Barkley at big forward, Marley up front, and then in the backcourt, Ainge and Kevin Johnson.
The X-Man off the bench tonight, 24 points. He is 8 of 9 from the free-throw line tonight. What a job he has done off the bench. This happened Wednesday night against Philly, as did D. Brown's late-game heroics. That one won't fall. Big miss. 4-point Phoenix lead, minute 21 to go.
Main thing is relax. Get this one down so that you put it into an odd number, 3. Plenty of time here. We have a minute and 28 seconds.
Gets this one. It's a 3-point game. Phoenix takes a timeout with a minute 21 remaining. Phoenix 112, Boston 109. This game reminds us of June '76. Former Celtic Paul Westphal, who scored 25 points in the game, but the game was decided by a couple of big shots. First one game, John Havlicek's leaner, tied at 95 at the end of regulation. In the second overtime, Boston up by 2 points. Suns inbounded to Gar Hurd, who hit the turnaround from 22 feet, tied it at 112. JoJo White had a big third overtime. Boston won what some people think was the NBA Finals greatest game, 128-126, en route to their 13th NBA World Championship. And Paul Westphal had 25 points in that game.
Now Paul was smart. He called a timeout, moved it up here. That forces Boston to take off the track. But let's see.
Minute 18 to go in the game.
They're matched up man-to-man. Now right now, Phoenix has everyone down on the baseline, and they're running down screens. Opening up the floor, allowing Kevin Johnson to run the clock, take his man one-on-one.
Who's being defended by Gamble. 5 to shoot. Barkley against McDaniel. 4, 3, 2. Barkley. No. Rebound. Lewis.
Push it. That's Chris Ford is yelling, push it, push it. Big thing now is high percentage shot or go strong to the basket.
Reggie Lewis against Marley, one-on-one. Marley
looking for the double team.
Look at the defense.
Great move.
Yes, Reggie Lewis.
Great move.
It's a 1-point game.
Now they're going to get the ball back. There's plenty of time. We have about 14 difference in the shot clock. Main thing right now, tough defense. Do not give up a second shot.
Kevin Johnson on the penetration, loses it. Tied up with Abdelnaby. They will jump it.
Great hands by D. Brown, who dislodged that ball from Kevin Johnson. Now this is a big-time jump ball. You should win this tap.
Abdelnaby at 6'10", Kevin Johnson maybe 6 feet.
The big thing is get your guys in order here. There should be a cup. The cup is between Gamble, right there. Oh, bad tap. They tapped it the wrong way. See, there was a cup between Xavier McDaniel and Gamble, and he did not tap the ball into the cup.
That was the 4th foul on D. Brown. Abdelnaby makes the mistake on what should have been a gimme jump ball for the Celtics.
Hold it right there. We're going to show it to you right there. Look to the left. You see right at 7 o'clock, if they would have tapped the ball in there, the Celtics would have come up with the ball.
And now Charles Barkley goes to the line. He is flawless, 6 of 6 tonight. Phoenix up by 1 point.
All right, Boston still has 2 timeouts, 19.9 seconds.
A lot of time.
Main thing now is assure yourself that if you should miss, you get the rebound and call an immediate timeout.
Charles Barkley, once again, as you've seen Michael Jordan so many times, at the line late in the game and draining them. I'd like to check on Charles' free throw percentage in the final 2 minutes of the game. It's probably around 90%.
If you're a business...
Phoenix was up 111-95 with 5 minutes to go, and the Celtics are on a 16-3 run since then.
Now this is just a great move by a player who's had a spectacular shooting night. Right in Marley's face. Now that gets it to 1. Barkley gets fouled at the other end. Now you're a coach. You're down 3 right now. All right, you have 1 timeout left. All right, you're the Celtics. 19.9 seconds. You do not shoot a 3. You are 27th in the league in 3-point makes, and most of all, you're 27th in the league in 3-point attempts. If you score quickly, you're down 1. You still have a timeout left. Put on your trap and press. If you don't make a steal, foul immediately. Keep forcing Phoenix to make the 2 foul shots. But you got to score quickly. Do not run a lot of time.
But first, the inbound pass. Reggie Lewis. Barkley comes out on him.
He bumped him. He bumped him.
Lewis on the drive. Barkley missed the layup. And the foul. 11.2 remaining.
Reggie Lewis went right to the referee on the baseline. Dick Nevada wanted the foul call. You can see it's a strong move. Barkley bumped him out at the top of the circle. See the hand right on his hip. Now just watch this move. He's down inside here now, except for one thing. He left it short. He definitely left it short. But that would have been ideal. It would have been 1 down at the time.
Reggie Lewis saying, Kevin Johnson just came over and had a conversation with you, Hubie. What did he say?
Now he's talking about turnovers. See, this is how about a tough situation for Frankie Johnson, who doesn't get a lot of minutes. Now watch this strong move. See, Reggie says he gets hit here. See, by Barkley from the rear. That's what he wanted.
He did, too.
He wanted the foul.
Didn't get it. Frank Johnson at the line. 116-111, a 5-point lead for the Phoenix Suns with 11.2 remaining. While we have a timeout, let's go to Ernie Johnson in Atlanta.
All right, thank you, Bob. The second team to reach the 50-win plateau this season, the New York Knicks. They did it in New York fashion, a game marred by 10 technical fouls tonight as they played the Heat at the Miami Arena. There's a little slap to Ewing, and Patrick swings the elbow and catches Grant Long. Took 4 stitches for that shot. Later, Ewing double-teamed hard, and he's going to go after Keith Askins. Man, this is almost visions of Phoenix, not quite that bad. Double technicals there. 10 in all called in the game. There was only 1 ejection. That was Doc Rivers. When the heat is on, you call in the heat. Cool things off. 123-107, the Knicks. Winners over the Heat. Now back to the Garden.
Thanks, Ernie. Winning ugly there. This game has been anything but that. This has been a beautiful game. And the Phoenix Suns, who have won 5 in a row on this road trip. The Boston Celtics, who have a 9-game win streak going, both on the line here tonight. Looks like the Celtics are about out of this one now with 11.2 seconds remaining. The Celtics, the worst 3-point shooting team in the league. And now, Hubie, now do they need the 3?
Well, the big thing right now is take whatever they give you. Try to score quickly.
Press.
And if they give you the outside 3, fine, you would take it. But as soon as you score, I always tell people when you're down 5, get the 2 quick, because they're saying in the other huddle, whatever you do not foul a guy going to the basket.
So they're going to almost give you that shot.
All right, now here's the negative, though. They have no timeouts left. So they must go to a full court press, make a steal, and then go for the 3. All right? The big key right now is that if you do not make the steal, you score quickly. You do not make the steal, you must foul.
Into Abdulnabi.
You can't take a lot of time, fellas.
Gamble hits the 3. 6 seconds left. Here's the press.
So much for that strategy.
And Ainge was right in his face. There's the foul. Kevin Johnson will go to the line.
Big shot. That was a very, very tough shot. The defensive player was all over Gamble. When you think about it, how many points has Gamble scored in this half? You know, that was his first points of the half. And we're going to show you the shot. Danny Ainge is all over him. That was a big-time shot because he was Valentine up until the score. Now Kevin Johnson must make at least 1 to give them a 3-point lead.
Kevin is 4 of 5 tonight, an 824 shooter on the year. Bingo. It is 117-114 Phoenix. 5.3 seconds remaining.
Now, naturally, if he scores, it's academic. But the big thing is Boston, no timeouts. You have to hope for a miss and a quick penetration and a 3.
He rattles it in.
Yep.
E. Brown for 3. Oh, almost. But it was a 4-point lead, and Phoenix streak goes to 6 in a row. The Celtics win streak ends at 9 without Robert Parrish tonight, but a valiant effort by the Celtics, led by Reggie Lewis. But the Phoenix Suns, behind Kevin Johnson, who is just having a whale of a run at the point guard, is going to come around and join us here tonight. Kevin Johnson had a tenacious game against the Chicago Bulls and then came in here tonight and led this team, as the point guard is supposed to do, to their win, 118 to 114. This is a new franchise record, Kevin, for road wins, your 24th win this year. Tonight, you personally, 25 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, flirting with the, he's changing right here. And he has 7 turnovers. You're talking about your turnover situation. 9 turnovers in the ballgame. You came over and spoke to Hubie Brown at a timeout right at the end of the ballgame about your turnovers. What did you say then?
I told him the only reason why I turned those balls over is so the viewers wouldn't leave. We wanted to make it an exciting game so everybody listen to you guys.
You're a pro, so I could give you $1 for that, right? Is that fair?
Tell us how you're feeling. I mean, it's been a tough year for you, Kevin. You missed 28 games with the injuries, but how are you feeling now?
Hubie, to be quite honest, I'm feeling great. My team has done an excellent job of picking me up all year long, and I think the injuries are behind me. I think we're really starting to click as a unit. We didn't play one of our better ball games, but we're finding ways to win, and we're doing whatever it takes. And if you can tell, my role has changed so much from the past, and I'm really enjoying that. It's making basketball easier and more exciting for me.
Paul Westphal says your defense is the thing he's noticed the greatest improvement in, along with the fact that you're adjusting to that change role. What about your defense?
Well, when I was sitting out all those games, I was trying to observe what was going on and trying to figure out what I could do to best contribute to our team. And without a doubt, I felt that it had to be my defensive intensity, because if you notice, every team that wins a championship is a good defensive team, and that's the area that we need most improvement in. So I've been really trying to focus on defense, and then offense, distribute the ball first, and then secondly, look for my shots when I need to.
Well, what about the loss of Tom Chambers? Now, we're talking about an all-star player, a guy who can come in and play big forward or center for you. What does this do for the ball club for the rest of the year and the playoffs?
I'll tell you what, every time we've had an injury, we've looked at that as a great distraction for us. Paul Westphal says the more distractions you have before the playoffs, the better off you'll be prepared. So we've battled those adverse situations, and other guys have stepped up. You look at Oliver Miller and Mark West, they're doing an excellent job in the middle. Cedric Sabalas really steps up when Richard Dumas goes down. And when I was down, Frank Johnson and Miguel Knight, and our depth and talent is certainly a key factor.
Kevin Johnson, tonight the Knicks played Miami. There were 10 technical fouls called in the game. There's been a lot of controversy over violence recently. Of course, you fellas were involved with the Knicks. You were out 2 games. You may recall vaguely. What is your feeling now that you were out 2 games with that situation? What is your feeling about that level in the NBA? Is it up? Are the fights up in your view?
I think it's up because it's so competitive and everybody's intense. And anytime you get intense competitors, things like that are going to happen. But I think what the NBA is trying to do, and I really have to salute Rod Thorne, is they're concerned with the image of this league. And they're trying to do anything they can to curtail that type of trash talking and violence and whatnot. In our incident in Phoenix, I understood why the levies and suspensions were given to us, because they want this to be the best sport by the year 2000 worldwide. And if we can be a part of that, we realize that we have to do our part and certainly try to restrain ourselves.
Well, you fellas have been on TNT Tuesday night and tonight. You've certainly been a good advertisement for exciting basketball.
You owe me for this guy. I told you, I kept it close for you.
Thank you. The dollar didn't work out too well. Kevin Johnson is our Budweiser player of the game. There's a reward for the excellent game you had tonight. Flirting with a triple-double all night long. 25 points, 9 assists, 8 rebounds, 9 of 17 from the floor. And that doesn't even talk about the defense that Kevin Johnson played here tonight. And now let's go to Ernie Johnson in Atlanta.
All right, thank you, Bobby. Very, very, very busy night in the NBA. 11 games on the slate. Got a lot of cards. Let's get right to them. The New York Knicks and the Miami Heat. 123 to 107. Pat Ewing, a big night. 10 technicals in that game, as we said, and Doc Rivers was ejected from that game. The New Jersey Nets trailing Chicago 106 to 95 at Chicago Stadium, so Chicago keeping pace with the Knicks for the best record overall in the East. Charlotte with that thrilling finish, Kendall Gill the game winner, 114 to 113 over the Cavs. Indiana a 118 to 102 win. Shaquille had 28, but as Kareem would say, that's not enough. Sacramento and Detroit, the Pistons have won 4 out of 5, 109 to 100 over the Sacramento Kings. Portland a 96-91 winner over the Philadelphia 76ers at the Spectrum tonight. In the fourth period, about midway through the final period, San Antonio leading Minnesota 91 to 83. Also in the fourth, it's Golden State running away from the Dallas Mavericks 95 to 67. Halftime at McNichols, Denver with a 65-56 lead over Milwaukee. Just about to tip it off at the LA Sports Arena. The Hawks, who have won 12 of their last 13, taking on the LA Clippers. Our finishing touch tonight This one comes to us from the LA Sports Arena, but from earlier this week. It was Tuesday night, as a matter of fact, halftime of the Laker-Clipper game, and this is Victor Mena. He's from Balboa, California. That free throw got him a car phone. That air ball gets him nothing. Half court. Oh, if he's throwing an air ball from three-point range, this can't go, can it? Oh, my. He's got some place to put that car phone. A new car at the LA Sports Arena for 31-year-old Victor Mena. He was not a gymnast. Let's see if they can top that on Inside the NBA. It's coming up next. Fred Hickman and Vince Cellini. They will have so many highlights, you will be begging them to stop. Here on TNT tonight.
16-point fourth quarter lead. Had it cut to 1. They hold on to win 118-114. And the summary of the game starts, as it often does, with Charles Barkley.
Well, Charles Barkley and Kevin Johnson naturally were spectacular. I thought the field goal percentage by the Suns on the road, they backed it up. They shot 56 in Chicago, 53 here tonight, and they did it against two hot teams. Definitely solid number one in this league.
Celtics 9-game win streak is snapped. They face Chicago on Sunday. Be sure to stay with TNT now as NBA action continues Sunday night on TNT with the Knicks at the Spurs. Coming up next on TNT, Inside the NBA, Vince Cellini and Fred